Nigerian football has come of age where a lot of people are expecting us to give the best when it comes to performance. Well, out there, it's always very difficult because we just don't do the right thing. Welcome you on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji Shafe. We'll be starting on the first story that has to do with NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, Iraqi Football Association, to explore avenues for football development. And if you ask me, so many countries, although with all due respect to Iraq, so many better countries out there when it comes to football that we can actually liaise with to get our football on the highest note. Well, we just hope that that particular friendship or bilateral relations we are going to be having with Iraq will get our football to that particular level that it deserves. Well, I have on the show, gentlemen, I have Ibrahim Yusuf, and I also have Yusuf Akogu. When two Yusuf are on this, two Yusuf are on the show. So right now, let me start with Ibrahim. Look at that particular story. Yes, good. NFF, Iraqi Football Association, are trying to see how they can develop, explore avenues for football development as a story. Really, like I said, all due respect to Iraqi embassy, Iraqi Federation, Football Association, all that, but I expect NFF to have something like this with Brazil, Argentina, Spain, and all that.
Not really. When you explore avenues like this, yes, well, it's good for you to explore things from a perspective of what others that are actually better than you in that department, so that you can get to learn from them. But Nigeria is looking towards people among their own league, and I think right now with
among their own league,
yes, we and Iraq are in the same league right now. We're in the same league right now when it comes to.
When you started, I thought you were going to. I never knew it was a sarcasm.
So Nigeria and Iraq right now are at par with each other when it comes to international football. So I think they're like minds. So
seriously,
yes, exactly, exactly. So they're looking towards people that are at their own level. Really, I don't know if Yusuf disagrees with
me. When I actually saw that story, I was so disappointed because when you're looking at football development, I think why are you going to Iraq? You have like Brazil, just like you mentioned, Spain, England, Portugal,
France,
where you got France and so on and so forth. So I don't know what we're going to learn from Iraq anyway in this particular.
In fact, I saw in that Iraq won. Is it the Arab Cup?
Okay.
4 times. They've won another. They mentioned some stuff like that, but I'm like, Iraq.
We're on the same level.
Iraq.
Yes.
Not even.
We are on the same level with Iraq. We can't even go to Iran right now because Iran are going to the World Cup. We don't go to World Cups now.
But
so
what? Okay, go ahead.
So we are looking for like minds, the ones that we're on the same level with, that we can be able to explore this relationship. So I think it's actually fine. Maybe let's start with those that are on our level before we move further.
My goodness.
I think what this actually tells me is that our football is on the decline. I think we are actually moving forward. If you look at from 1994 till date, Nigerian football has been on the downward decline. From 1994, we went so high at the Nations Cup, went to the World Cup, did very well with the like of JJ Amokachi and co. Then he went to Atlanta '96 and won the gold for the first time for Africa. Then from then, our football came declining until we were able to get the AFCON in 2013 with Stephen Keshi. I think that was the highest we've gone in this dispensation. So I think the NFF need to look beyond their nose. I mean, going to sign an agreement with Iraq on football development, it sounds strange to actually football lovers and followers like myself and then Ibrahim. So
what about me?
And of course, you as well. So, but when you look at it, I really do not know who facilitated the deal. I think if it's Iraq that is coming to learn from us.
Well, if you look at the picture there, that's the Iraqi ambassador to Nigeria, Saeed, and they had to meet with the NFF. And well, from the way it is, really.
I think there are other areas where I think we can actually sign an agreement with a country like Iraq. I think we're fighting insecurity. Some of them are very experienced in this area. I think that will help us.
It shouldn't be football,
going
right?
to football.
but really, not taking anything away from the fact that NFF did that, but we're looking at better options. We have so many countries, even in Africa here. We can have this with Ghana. We can have this with Cote d'Ivoire.
What about Morocco?
Senegal, Morocco. Morocco, they're just, in fact, they're actually making the whole world to get mesmerized now with African football. Why don't we have it in Morocco? I'm sure Morocco can defeat Iraq 10 times.
Those football federations don't have our time anymore.
Seriously?
Of course not, because we're not on the same level. So we're looking at people on the same level. I think it's fine.
What a sarcasm. What a way to go. Nigerian football really needs to get better. When you look at this particular story, do you know that there was a time that if you want to play Nigeria, in fact, the fear that, hey, Nigeria,
Yeah,
you don't even know what to do.
The name Nigeria.
Then, little by little, they got closer to our guys. Our women who were so invincible, now we are fighting to even get the 4th place.
Yes.
At the Women AFCON.
Yes.
Exactly.
Where we dominated for.
When we are talking about making very major inroads into the World Cup, where we dominated the African continent for a very long time, we're talking about making inroads into the World Cup, and unfortunately, right now, we're coming back to start fighting for 4th place in the World Cup, in AFCON as well. I mean, like, it's the fall of Nigerian football has been very, very drastic.
And we didn't take it serious.
And we're still not taking it seriously if we're going to Iraq to try to learn something. I mean, like, we're really not taking it seriously.
Who knows? Maybe it's technology football they want to go at.
Whatever kind of football they're talking about, I mean, like, really, but seriously, on a very serious note now, what has Iraq got to teach us when it comes to football?
Really? It should be the one, okay, maybe.
We should not be the one because we don't have anything to teach them.
They want to learn from us. They want to learn from us.
They want to learn how to decline.
That's why they signed this.
They want to learn how to decline.
They want to learn. No, Iraq want to learn from Nigeria.
To learn how to decline.
We are not declining. We're actually.
We're what?
The thing is that, like you said, football has been on a decline. We've been talking about that. Then signing this agreement with Iraq, I really do not know what they are coming to learn from Nigeria, like you said as well. So, but again, corruption. It has actually killed our football over the years. Players have been complaining right from time. It doesn't start today. Most of them, after coming to represent their country, they don't get their entitlement. Money are voted for a certain projects that are not carried out. Look, go to our stadium, the national stadium here. Can't be compared to some of the stadium in even in some smaller African countries. We have this problem of maintenance culture. We don't maintain our facilities. Go to National Stadium in Lagos. Go to Tessin Balogo as well. So some of these things is impacting negatively on our football. And we have people who really have no business running football, managing our football. Look at what Cameroon is trying to do. They are trying to bring back the indomitable Lions have been have been dominated over the years. Now they're bringing footballers, ex-footballers who have gone
to run the business.
To run the business. You have Eto, you have Song. These are guys who have played football at the highest level to run their football. Now Cameroon went to the World Cup, didn't do so well, but they beat Brazil in that tournament. So they came back home with pride. But now they are not talking about sacking Song. They have given him enough time. Look, let's plan on how to run Cameroon football. All the Cameroonian players who were born abroad, who are representing other countries at the youth level, please, let's see how we can convince them.
Let's get them, the way Morocco did.
The way Morocco did. Let's see how we can bring them back. We see what Samuel Eto'o is doing all over, talking to players, relating with, going straight to even the presidency to get whatever thing he need for the indomitable Lion of Cameroon, for them to become that indomitable that they used to be in Africa. And I think these are some of the things that we need to do. We have some ex-footballers in Nigeria who, the like of Sunday Olise, who was one time coach of the team, who left in a controversial circumstance. So we need to bring in people like Garba Lawal and so many of them who have undergone one training or the other to manage our football. If we continue to leave our football to the administrators, then I think we'll go, maybe next we'll go to Oman to go and sign contracts.
Oman.
Exactly, or India, or maybe Bahrain.
India? No, don't bring India. Come on, I still remember that particular affair in February or whatever, where they say 99 goals against Nigeria. I still don't know who invented that lie.
Exactly.
You believe it for 100 years. India defeated Nigeria 99-0. The goalkeeper will be seeing a bunch of coconuts coming, seeing snake and all that. Really, football can be so interesting. Just giving you an update concerning that particular story where Nigeria and Iraq, they have that particular understanding where they'll be having some football development together, but we were just looking at it in another form where we should have gone for at least a football nation, not like Iraq. Well, anyway, just let's see what that particular bilateral agreement or relations we actually get Nigeria. Now, from there, let's talk about a man, a player who has really done well for himself when it comes to playing football, his own country or club side, or he has won so many Ballon d'Or, done well for himself. But this time around, he'll be retiring after playing on Sunday at the World Cup. Lionel Messi. Yes, Lionel Messi confirmed Sunday's final as his last World Cup match of his career. He has done well for himself. He has really played well for Argentina, winning Copa America, trying to see if he can lay his hand on that cup come Sunday. But right now, let's look at this record briefly. Just a brief record. Lionel Messi became the first Argentina player to score in 4 World Cups and also became their record World Cup scorer with 11 goals. He made his Argentina debut at the age of 18 in 2005 and has scored 97 goals in 172 games for Argentina. Lionel Messi right now, on Sunday, will be dropping his boot after playing that final match against France. Well, let's look at this together. Ibrahim, you look at Messi, a player that, from the way he's going right now, I'm already looking at another Ballon d'Or for this guy.
Oh, well, love him or hate him, Lionel Messi is actually one of the greatest footballers that we've been privileged to actually see. And I think the debate of who is the best,
let's not go there. Let's not go there now.
No, that is the debate that actually will rage on for a very long time. But still, love him or hate him, Lionel Messi has done incredible things when it comes to football. He has won everything that needs to be won, except the World Cup, which he may win on Sunday. So even if he doesn't win the World Cup, that does not take away
anything
from
him.
Exactly, away from the fact that he's an exceptional player. And like you don't see players like Messi in an entire generation. You know, the last time we've been having talks like this was when Maradona was still playing, which is a very long time ago. So he is an exceptional player, and him quitting international football after this World Cup, I think, yes, it's the best way to go. And he's having a fantastic World Cup. He has had an amazing time. So I think he's bowing out when the ovation is very, very high. And we're looking forward to probably seeing a 40-year-old Lionel Messi coming in to kick it with the small boys. But at the end of the day, we know how these things end. When you don't stop when you're supposed to, you end up rubbishing everything else.
Look at what's happening to Ronaldo.
You understand? You end up rubbishing what you need to do. So I think Lionel Messi has taken the right decision for him to quit international football after the World Cup, but he has given us amazing things that we've seen when it comes to football. Remember, his international career didn't really take off, you know, as his club career did. He was doing fantastic when it came to club football, but the international scene, it took time. It took time before he actually picked up. But when he actually did that, and we can see how he's carrying this Argentinian national team, and he's taking them to great heights. Taking them to the final right now is a spectacular achievement. Even if he doesn't get it, that doesn't take anything away from him.
I'm sure Yusuf will have something to say concerning the Lionel Messi of this world.
Yeah, certainly. La Puga Atomica, like they call him, he's a fantastic player. Oh, I mean, what else can you say? He's giving us quite a whole lot to chew when it comes to football. So him buying out at this, I think he's going out on a high. Like Ibrahim said, win or lose, I think he's going out on a high. And it's one thing for you to know when to stop. But like you know, some people say, don't wait for coaches to tell you when to stop when you're a footballer. You know, look at, assess yourself. What is happening to Cristiano Ronaldo? Is having clashes with different coaches here and there.
Because he can't stand the bench.
But again, you have to actually look at yourself, assess yourself, look at what you've done 20, 30, or 10 years ago. Can I do the same? So when you know you can't do that, I think there are other ways that you actually contribute to football, maybe by way of, you know, technical assistance, coaching, and all of that.
Even
so
business.
You can take your business, and you can take that decision. But again, give it to Messi. He's done amazingly well. I think the question of who is the GOAT, I think it's been answered.
That question is another.
That is open for debate.
It's not open for debate because the reason why I don't want to always look at that GOAT, if you check either Cristiano, either Messi, believe you me, both of them, they've made this set of generation of footballers to be like very competitive. They've achieved, both of them have actually achieved. You can't take it away from Pelé and Maradona.
Yeah,
you understand? So the way it is during, or it was during Maradona and Pelé, that's just the way it is right now. You have your own. Maybe you are Messi, maybe it's Ronaldo. You understand? You just stand with that. Let's just celebrate them, both of them. They've done well.
As exceptional players.
Seriously.
That have given us spectacular memories, amazing moments.
Amazing moment in the world of football. So why always goat?
I really think it is actually whether a person is a goat, a sheep, or a cow. It doesn't really make
any
mouse. It doesn't really make any difference. The thing is, these guys are exceptional footballers, and we are really privileged to have been able to witness such great careers.
But again, when you look at his contribution, like Ibrahim said earlier, his international career didn't take off very good enough as one was expected, given what he was doing for Barcelona at the time. I knew he was criticized that, okay, Messi can only play with Iniesta and Xavi at the time. That anytime he went to Argentina, he get lost in the team. But again, if you look at what he has done at this World Cup, I think he's carried the team up on his shoulder. And some of the things he's done, amazing things that Messi has done.
Now, let me put it to you this way. I know you like Messi, you understand, but the fact is, do you know that if we actually check both Messi and Ronaldo's record, where this one will default. That's the strength of this one. Where this one is having less power, that's where this one is having a lot of super maybe you want to call it superpower. So both of them, they've achieved. So let's not take it away from either Ronaldo, either Messi. They've done well. Okay, now look at it this way. If you are looking at Copa America, you look at Euro for Ronaldo. He also won it. You understand? If you are looking at Champions League, he won 5. Messi won 4. If you are looking at FIFA Player of the Year, Ronaldo has won how many times? He won 1. But for Ballon d'Or, he won how many? 7. Ronaldo won 5. Now you can see how it's always like
you can't take anything away from these two players. I'm a Ronaldo fan, fantastic player.
Of course, I hate to say that. Politician.
He did so well for Manchester United, Real Madrid, and co. So Ronaldo has done. These two guys have contributed to football, but again, saying that one has a slight edge above the other, I don't think it's too big.
You see where he's going to now. I just mentioned it. You see how you started. You see where you are tilting to. Let's just say both of them are good.
Fantastic players.
They are good. They are sheep. They are mouse. Whatever you want to call them. Just looking at that particular story there, Messi will be buying out after Sunday's match against France. At least illustrious career, you want to call it. He has done well for himself, and really, he deserves to be celebrated. Well, whoever wins that game on Sunday will know that. And now let's talk about women football. Yes, women's Champions League fixtures for tonight. These matches will be coming up in a couple of hours now. They will be playing. In fact, some are ongoing right now. Juventus Feminine against Zurich women, Arsenal versus Lyon, Rosengard versus Bayern Munich ladies, and you have Barcelona Femenino against Benfica women. All the BB facing themselves in this game. Ibrahim.
Yeah, well, it's really exceptional when you see how women football has progressed over the past couple of years. I mean, like, it usually was only on the international scene that we see things like this, when nations come, when they go, they play their domestic cups, and then they go for the World Cup as well. But right now, you're seeing women football being developed in each and every league. Almost every serious-minded league now has a women's version of it. You understand? And these clubs are getting not really the same amount of support and the same amount of money being pumped into them, but still they're getting the required support. They have their own leagues, and they have their Champions League as well. And of course, they're really coming up right now, and it's amazing sometimes when you see the amount of interest women football is generating. When you see the kind of people that go to stadiums now to watch women's games. Usually you used to have very sparsely populated stadiums, but really now they're generating so much interest because the women play very good football. That is just the bottom line. And they play exceptional football. You go there, any fan of football will be able to watch this. And we're looking at these fixtures right now. We've seen these clubs. We know how the men of these clubs actually play. And we've seen what the women can actually do, most especially Barcelona women. And we're talking about Arsenal ladies as well. Lyon, fantastic group of ladies, and they're doing amazing things for football. So I think really women football is on the rise. Unfortunately, for some other countries, they're not jumping on this gravy train, but it is absolutely.
It's really getting better when it comes to women football.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw the 44,000 capacity stadium filled up to the brim. That was another one I saw, 54,000. And really, a lot of people that come to watch women football, the pace of these ladies when they play, the technicality, the skills they show, the way they actually marshal ball, as in the way they play, you be like, really? These are ladies.
Exactly.
Some of these ladies can actually defeat some
of the
men's teams.
Some local team.
But don't mention Nigerian team. We could use both for them.
Yeah, I think women football is actually getting the right attention as it is. A lot of investment is going to that sector. Though this is coming late, but again, give it the next 10 years or so, I think they'll be competing with men in terms of sponsorship and then attention as well. So I think it's a very, very good thing to do. And then I think Nigeria should learn from this as well. All the clubs in Nigeria, like the likes of Kano Pillars, Enugu Rangers, Enyimba, and so on and so on. I think it's time for them to start learning from this blueprint, and not for NFF to go to Iraq and then sign in agreement.
Yeah, you are still going to that. Well, we just have to leave NFF alone. But really, we hope that this current NFF will do something wonderful. Though we're waiting to see what they'll be offering. It's just we need Nigerian football at its best right now. Let's talk some transfer stories here and there. January is really getting close and closer every day, and we just have to look at which club we're buying, which player, who is moving, who is staying. But right now, Manchester United, according to that story, they will be promising, yes, they promised Eric Ten Hag a massive fund to rebuild his squad. They'll be giving Ten Hag a lot of money for him to at least get his squad rebuilt ahead of the EPL, maybe the battle for the top prize.
Well, Manchester United, the problem with Manchester United has never been money. Money has never been their problem.
They have it.
We've seen how much they've spent since Sir Alex left. Moyes got a transfer kitty. Van Gaal got one. Mourinho got one. But still, something was actually
It's missing.
You understand? Yes, a lot of Manchester United fans. Yes, a lot of
A
Manchester
lot
United
of them.
fans. Yes,
Your hand is going this
a lot
way.
of Manchester United fans will hope that actually Erik ten Hag is the man with the magic wand to actually do
The magic.
to bring that missing thing that would because they've always had quality players. The players have always been there. Manchester United is a massive club. Love them or hate them. So if it's so right now saying that okay, Erik ten Hag is going to get money to go and buy players is really not something that should excite a real fan of Manchester United. What should excite a real fan of Manchester United is coming up with a plan to say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is where we want to get in the next 3, 4, 5 years. This is what we want to achieve this season. This is what we want to achieve next season. At least have a blueprint to say, okay, that we're going to follow this line and do this. But it's not about money. You don't throw money at it and just hope something sticks. They've been doing that for a while, and it hasn't worked.
Believe you me, if you see the kind of eye Yusuf is using to look at you, you will be scared to talk about Manchester United. Don't go ahead.
I think no, he actually made the right, said the right things. I think the transition from Sir Alex Ferguson to David Moyes was not really the right thing to do. I think that was where we got it wrong. So we've suffered for that for the past, for the past years as well. So I think it's not just enough for you to throw money at problems. It's about you want to get players. Are you getting the right players? We wanted a defender, went for Maguire. We actually know the repercussion as it is right now. So, but I think with the kind of attitude that Erik ten Hag has actually brought into the team, I think from the glimpse of hope that he has shown so far, I think he's the right man for the job. So if they can actually give him that needed support, I think when Mourinho came in, he actually asked for those supports, but he was not actually giving as well. Because I thought that if Mourinho had been supported, I think by now United will be competing with the likes of City, Liverpool, and even in the Champions League as well. But he was not giving that support. And thankfully, Erik ten Hag is getting that, and then we hope that he get the right players. So far, he's done so well. The players he has brought in, they're actually doing so well. Lisandro Martinez,
Anthony,
and so on and so forth. These are young players who has featured for the club. These young players in the next 10 years can actually, represent the club. So I think if he can get the right players, I think he knows the kind of players that he can actually work with. I think he's done so well so far.
Well, let's see what Erik ten Hag will be doing concerning Manchester United at Old Trafford. A big one for that club, really, since Ferguson left. It has been a tough one to see how that particular team can be stabilized. Now we look at Fulham. Fulham want to sign Arsenal's right back, Cedric Soares, in January. They want to get him, and from the way it is, Fulham are really fighting hard to get Arsenal right back. As you don't know how you leave Arsenal to go to Fulham. Anyway, that's football.
Well, it all depends. I mean, like
maybe playing time.
You have to consider things like that. You have to consider playing time. You have to consider your career as it is at where it is. Cedric Soares is not somebody that lights up the board when you look at it. And these are the kind of deals that I expect to see in January. You understand? Fringe players looking to go somewhere so that they can be able to go and get playing time. If you're going to see a massive transfer during the January window, it's probably a deterrent sort of transfer. Maybe a person's contract is coming to an end.
Or a player is injured, they just needed someone to fill in.
Exactly. A club wants to sell him to make some money before he leaves at the end of his contract, or they're just looking for a stopgap measure. So these are the kind of deals that you see in January. Most things, January is filled with a lot of rumors. Lots of rumors get from people.
And you never see most of these deals coming to pass.
There's not much action. There's not much action when it comes to this. But deals like this, like Suarez to Fulham, that is something that you can expect to see in the January transfer.
But if you look at it again, Fulham and Arsenal, they are actually on par when it comes to.
How are they on par?
The difference between
how? What are you saying?
The difference between
I really want to I really want
What are you saying? Arsenal and Fulham? Is it because they play in London? Okay.
It's not like that.
I really want to hear this.
Fulham has the potential. The potential is there as well. So when you look at the life of...
No, I completely disagree.
From today, I really know that the Manchester United fan club that you joined has really affected Fulham and Arsenal.
No, I'm not talking from the fans' perspective.
You are talking about the table perspective?
Is it table? Is it a table? Is it trophies? Is it
trophies? Is it performance? Let's not go there.
When was the last time Arsenal won trophies?
I think the best thing you could actually say is that the closest they are is geographically.
Maybe.
Both of them are London clubs, and that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah,
I mentioned to I said because they are from London.
Exactly.
I know both of them are from London, but again, if you look at what Arsenal has done in the last 20 or 15 years or thereabouts,
Fulham has done the same thing.
they have not done the same thing. But again, even okay, for example, Manchester United.
Well, I just have to cut it here. Our time is up. Our time is up. Let's really run through this. Ajax have agreed to let defender Daley Blind that leave on a free transfer in January. Yes, you know, a lot of people don't call them blind.
Yeah, exactly. They call them blind. Exactly.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Ajax have agreed that at least defender Daley Blind will be leaving on a free transfer in January. And this one says English winger Samuel Julian has agreed a 4-year contract extension at Juventus. Well, I hope Chelsea will not blame themselves again. I remember when they allowed Musiala to go, and right now we see what he's doing in Bayern Munich. The same young man was with Chelsea before he moved to Juventus. Now he has actually inked 4-year contract extension at Juventus.
Yeah, well, we've seen situations like this. We've seen situations like this whereby a club will have a promising young player and then they'll let him go for next to nothing. And then at the end of the day,
He will be the player to come and wreak havoc against them.
Exactly. Or they end up spending tons of money to bring him back, like one Manchester club.
United player.
Well, if you look at the Chelsea actually used to this is not the first time they're actually doing that. So if you look at the like of Romelu Lukaku, Mohamed Salah, you know, these are players that
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne as well. So these are players that young players that were not given time to develop at their mother club. But today they are actually doing great. You know, I hope Chelsea is not making another mistake.
Well, that's for Chelsea. If they like, let them buy or not. We just have to go now. I want to appreciate you guys, Ibrahim and the two Yusufs. Thank you very much. Good one. It's always good to talk sport on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.